Good morning, everybody. So this morning, I hope you're keeping well. It's a bit cloudy and yuck out there today, but it's nice to see the rain as well, isn't it? So I thought for today's little demo, I thought I'd do some blending. Blending has always been a favourite thing for me to do, and it always just creates such a quick and easy card. So I just wanted to show you the difference between the Distress Oxide and the Distress ink as well. So these are two cards that I've done using the same colours in the Distress Oxide. So that's the Distress Oxide one, and this is using the same colours but in the Distress ink. And you can see that it's just, the Distress ink, I find it's a bit more vibrant. And a little bit more translucent, whereas the oxide ink I find is more creamy. It's got kind of a chalky look about it. So you can't probably see it really well on the camera, on the video, but yeah, I'm very happy to show you in person. So I'll show you that, and then I'm going to show you this little card as well. Okay, so let's get started. So to start off with, I'll show you the oxide inks. So you can see just in themselves that the colour is very, very different. So they're the two matching colours. So we're going to use the oxide inks first. So to blend, all you do is you're circling around with your little blending tool on your ink pad. And then you're starting off the page, because I find if you start on the page, you're going to get a circular mark. So just start off the page. You can get a little feel for how much ink is on your blending tool. So you can see here there's quite a bit of ink on, but if you just start lightly, and as you kind of build up a layer on your card, you'll find that it will then blend over more easily as you add more layers. So you're just going in a circling motion, and each time just hold your pad with one hand and then circle around it with the ink pad with the other. Starting off the page each time until you've got a nice layer on the card. And this is just our ordinary white cardstock. All the products that you'll see me demonstrating today, you can grab from my web store, or you can contact me and I can order them for you. So just getting that layer on. So you can see there, that's on. Then I'm going to add a bit of the mowed lawn. Now you'll see some of my blending tools are rectangular. That's because I've had them for a long time and that's what we used to sell, but we're now selling the circular ones. So there's two blending brushes per pack. So just get that on. If you kind of think that's too dark, then you can just go over it with the lighter to blend it in again. So you just blend until you're happy with the combination. Now, with the oxide inks, I tend to have one brush per colour because they can easily contaminate each other, and you don't really want your really pale, shabby shutters to be contaminated with the darker mowed lawn. I find with the Distress inks, you can interchange them a little bit, like your lighter greens with your darker greens, lighter blues with lighter darker blues. But the oxide, you really need to keep a separate blending tool. Again, because they are so creamy and juicy. And then just getting the tumbled glass on. So again, just starting off the page, trying to avoid the green area because again, because they are so juicy, you tend to pick up the green. So just finding another area on your scrap mat. Some people use a craft mat. I find the paper's just fine. And you can blend over the green on your card so that that blends into each other. And then a little bit of the broken china. So again, that's just the darker blue. So mainly just going around the edges. Now what you can do then is go around the whole thing to give it a little bit of a frame. So just with the darker colour, just on the very edge. Okay, so you've got your blended background there. Just cover up our lids so that we don't go putting anything on top of those ink pads. And then we're going to use our flowers here. So I always tend to use an archival ink because I find that stamps really crisply. So with the more solid pads, I find I tend to swipe on to make sure that the pad is completely covered with ink, and then I'll give it a dab because you don't want those swipe lines coming out. So giving it a dab will just make sure those swipe lines aren't there. Now I'm going to stamp it off the page a little bit. So I'm going to go fairly high to the top and give it a good press down. Again, don't rock. Always just press straight down and then straight up. I'm going to pop some more on. And then I'm just going to pop them down the bottom there. And then just a little sentiment. I'm a bit in love with this one. The little thing, it's the little things that make life big. That's quite nice. I'm just going to pop that somewhere here. Just press straight down, straight up. So you can see that was quite quick. So it's a great way of making a quick birthday card. You can change it to more masculine colours. So it's just a quick and easy way of making a card. So then all I would do is just load that onto some white card with a little border around it, and that's it. What you could do is also stamp. Just going to fold this in half, but I don't want to get blue on the back. Oh, and I've got, look, fingers. I'm actually going to fold it the other way. I've got stuff on my hands, obviously. I don't want to get that on there. I'm actually going to turn this sheet over. Turn the sheet over so that we don't get any ink, because that's what I find. You blend up and then you go and put your card down and then you've got these lovely marks all over it. So I've obviously put my finger in the archival ink, but we can kind of fix that because I'm just going to put that over the top. But what we can do is, before we do that, is we can just ink up our flowers again. So just inking up our flowers again. Because look, we've managed to get lots of marks everywhere. and just pop a bit of the stamping on the inside of the card too. So that, again, that just takes the theme from the outside to the inside of the card. Let's give that a nice score down. It just helps to make the card sit flat. Just a little bit of tape. I tend to put tape on all 4 sides. Make sure it sticks down. And then that's just going to get centered in the middle there. So nice, quick, easy card. Now for the next little card, I'll just pop all these away because I'm going to need to bring in my, and what I might do is before I start blending, I'm just going to fold the card in half. Oh look, I've done it again. I do have that on my thumb. So just score that, and we'll be able to cover that up as well. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to create the little mask. So what we're doing is we're going to have, we've got 2 pieces of card here. So they're the same size. So you want the piece that you're creating your template out of to be the same size or larger than the card that you're actually going to be putting onto your card. So I'm going to just plonk this here. We're going to pop the little die on. So whatever shape you want, I've sort of gone with circle. So wherever you want that coloured section to be. And then we're just going to pop it into the little folder, little Gemini folder. Pop our Gemini on here. This is the Gemini MIDI, which I love. You don't have to worry about what plate combination. You just chuck it in the folder. When it gets cut on one side, you can just flip it and use that as your envelope. So it's very versatile. I love it, and it's nice and light and portable. So this now becomes our little template. So what we do now is popping that over the top, and then we're going to blend. So with this one, I'm going to use the Distress inks. I'll leave that there so you can see. So I'm just going to start off with the brown first. So this is Vintage Photo that I'm using. And then just keeping the template on there, you're going to start on the template and then gently come on. And why I say keep it the same size is because then if you're going over the edge, oops, which I'm doing there, you're not going to hit onto your card. I think I might have found that I did go a little bit onto the card. But anyway, we all make mistakes. So just, again, circling around, getting that yellow on. And then you're going to put the yellow in the middle for the sun. Then we're going to add some orange, which is Spiced Marmalade. That's one of my favourite oranges. I do like the Spiced Marmalade. And again, just blending around over the top. Might add a little bit more yellow. And you can just, so you just keep adding whichever colours you think need a little bit more. And it's just playing around and just seeing what you like the look of and how your blends are going. See, so that's the orange and then some red. Now here's with the red, I'm going to use the same blending tools for the 2 reds. Bring the red over. Taking that down into the brown a little bit. And then you want some of the aged mahogany. And then you can take it off and see what you think. I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe just a little bit more so that yellow isn't so obvious. Go a little bit more of the orange coming down onto it. So just playing around with it. It's okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Then I love the Australian windmills. I think they're really iconic, aren't they? Just pop them aside. So again, it's just inking up with the jet black archival ink. And then lining that up. I think I'm going to stamp a little bit off the page so that the fan of the windmill is right into that colour. Give it a good press down. So you've got that there. And then a little happy birthday. So I find if you line it up on the block using your mat and just making sure it's lined up on the block. So that looks as if it's pretty well lined up. Then you can just use your block to line up with your card to make sure that's straight. So I'll know that's straight if that's equal distant from the edge of the card. Or the bottom, so you're looking at the bottom. So again, straight down, straight up. There's the happy birthday on there. Now, I added the gum leaves because I'd made a bit of a splodge up here. So, but I quite like the gum leaves, so I'm going to add them again. So this is our little gum leaf. So again, there's a way that you can cover up your little mistakes. Is there such a thing, a mistake? No, it's just a chance to embellish, I've been told. Oops, there we go. So just popping those on. Some down the page as well. So that's our little card. Okay, so what I've done too, and this is something that you can do to your cards if you want to, is just with the distressing tool, is just, and I think this is where I went wrong because I don't think the card was dry. So you're just going to roughen up the edge. So it's just roughening up the edge as much as you want to. So you could make it really rough. Or you could just leave it straight. Sorry, I forgot to talk then. We'll cover up the ink pad so that we don't get white fluff all over them. There you go. So you could give a little tear as well, so you can tear and roll your cardstock. You know, it's just whatever you want to do, really. You know, so you can go from having it straight to having it really ripped up. Then it's just tape on the back. And I just find that the express tape is great just to tear. I never bother using scissors because then I find the scissors get all gummed up with the tape as well. So just tearing it is fine. And then just a little bit of cardstock. So I've just made this 1/2 centimetre. So whatever your measurements are, I think I've done this one 9, the white piece 9 by 13.3. And then, so my black cardstock is 9.5 centimetres, this is, by 13.8 centimetres. And then just going to pop some tape on the back of this. And that will be the card done. And again, of course, you could stamp the gum leaves inside the card as well. Let's just do that. Might as well do that. Or you could stamp the windmill on the inside of the card. I do like the little gum leaves though. I think they're quite sweet. So little gum leaves. So that's your card made. So I hope you've enjoyed this little session on blending and have fun playing. And I'm always here if you need anything, if I can be of service to you in any way, please just let me know. Also, I intend to keep going fortnightly with these little demonstrations. So if you think of anything that you'd like me to demonstrate, please do get in contact, whether it be a particular technique or whether it be a particular product that you'd like to know more about. So have a wonderful day and a great weekend, and happy Mother's Day to all those mums out there and to all those women out there who care for people. You're all mothers, okay? You might not be physically a mother, but you're all mothers, okay? Lovely to spend this time with you, and have a great time. Okay, bye.